So, what's the real difference between someone who just dabbles in AI and a true power user? Well, today we're going to break down a framework that maps out that whole journey, the 7 levels of AI mastery. I mean, think about it. On one side, you've got someone who uses AI to, save a few minutes writing emails. And that's useful, for sure. But on the other side, you have someone who's building entire automated systems that run their business 24/7, even while they're sleeping. The gap between those two outcomes is just massive. So, what is the secret sauce here? What's the big difference between these two people? And you might be thinking, oh, it's got to be that they're a coding genius or some kind of tech prodigy, but it's really not about that. The answer is actually way, way simpler. It all boils down to understanding these 7 levels of proficiency. It's about knowing which level you're at right now and, more importantly, knowing the exact next step you need to take to level up. Think of this as your own personal hero's journey, a quest to master AI. We'll start with the apprentice levels, then move through the journeyman stage, climb up to the master levels, and then we'll finish by figuring out your very next quest. Sound good? Let's dive in. All right, let's start at the very beginning with the apprentice levels. This whole stage is about one thing, building a rock-solid foundation by really mastering the core of a single large language model, or LLM. Look, we all start right here, at level 1. You're the newcomer. You've probably got a free ChatGPT account, and you're basically using it like a supercharged Google. You ask it one-off questions, maybe have it write a quick social media post. It's helpful, yeah, but it doesn't quite feel like a superpower. Not yet, anyway. Now, the first big unlock happens when you hit level 2, the prompt crafter. This is that huge aha moment. It's when you realize that asking the same question in 2 slightly different ways can give you wildly different results. You start thinking, strategically about how you ask. And here's the cheat code to level up fast. A really great prompt has these 3 core parts: the instruction, the context, and the constraints. The instruction is simply what you want it to do. The context is all the background info it needs to do it well. And constraints are the rules it absolutely has to follow. Nailing the structure will immediately improve your results. Want to speed run this level? Here are 2 seriously powerful shortcuts. First, try this. Tell the AI to ask you questions to get the context it needs. Second, once you've gone back and forth and gotten a great answer, ask the AI, hey, write me the perfect prompt that would have gotten me this result on the very first try. Then you save that prompt for later. The really crucial thing here is you're training yourself to think like the AI. You hit level 3, the architect, the moment you get tired of starting every single conversation from scratch. This is where you start using features like custom instructions or dedicated projects in tools like Claude and ChatGPT. You create a workspace for your job that already knows your company's tone of voice, and maybe another one for your fitness goals that knows your whole workout history. No more repeating yourself. This is a huge productivity leap. Okay, so you've mastered your primary tool. Now it's time to become a journeyman. This next stage is all about looking beyond that one LLM and starting to explore the huge ecosystem of specialized AI tools out there. Level 4 is all about a fundamental shift in your mindset. As an explorer, you stop trying to force one tool to do everything. Instead, when a new task pops up, your first question is, okay, what is the absolute best AI tool for this specific job? And suddenly, your toolkit gets a lot bigger. You might be using NotebookLM for deep research, or a tool like Granola to automatically take notes in your meetings. Maybe you're using an agent like Manus to handle tasks with multiple steps. You could even be using features like Canvas or Artifacts to prototype an entire app with just a few sentences, no code needed. It's wild. And all this exploring naturally leads you right to level 5, the automator. This is where you make the jump from just using tools to actually building with them. You start stitching them together, creating workflows that get triggered by something and then just run on their own from start to finish without you lifting a finger. And this right here, this is the key turning point. Your whole perspective flips. You no longer see a tedious task and think, ugh, how can I do this faster? Instead, your brain immediately jumps to, wait a minute, how can I build a machine that does this entire thing for me automatically? It's a total game changer. Now we're entering the end game, the master levels. These are for the folks who aren't just using AI anymore, they're actively creating with it, designing bespoke systems, and really thinking about what comes next. At level 6, you're a builder. You look at a slow, manual process and you don't just see a problem anymore. You see a system just waiting to be built. You're getting comfortable with tools like Claude Code to build custom software from a simple description, or something like NN to connect different AI agents into these complex automated workflows. Okay, this is just incredible. The story from the source material goes someone took a couple of screenshots of a calorie tracking app, just pictures from the App Store, and asked Claude to just build it. And after one little follow-up prompt, it created a fully functioning app that could identify food from a picture and track macros. That's the kind of power a level 6 builder has. Now, there is a quick word of caution here. At the very bleeding edge of this level are these open source frameworks like OpenClaw, which let you build persistent AI assistants. But listen, these tools are unbelievably powerful, but they're also technically complex and come with some very real security risks. They are not plug and play, well, not yet anyway. And that brings us to the final summit, the one that, for now, is almost purely aspirational. Level 7, the Visionary. The goal of the Visionary is to become what's being called a one-person unicorn. I mean, just think about that. The idea of a single founder building a billion-dollar company not with a team of hundreds, but with a highly efficient, custom-built workforce of AI agents running the whole operation. It sounds like science fiction, but it's where all of this is pointed. So after laying out this whole map, from newcomer all the way up to visionary, the question really turns back to you. You have the framework now. You can probably pinpoint roughly which level you're at right at this moment. So the most important question is this. What is the single, immediate next step you can take to level up? Is it mastering that prompt structure? Is it building your very first automation? What is your quest? And I just want to leave you with this final, pretty provocative thought. As all these tools become more and more powerful and easier to use, this idea of a one-person unicorn, it starts to move from science fiction toward a potential reality. So the question is no longer if it's going to happen, but who is going to do it? Could it be you?